Hello everyone, I'm Miss Rollason and today we're going to be reading What's the Time, Mr. Wolf? This is one of my favourites, this is. But before we start reading, I need to make sure you've got your good looking eyes and your good listening ears. Let's get those ears out and let's turn them on. And turn on your good listening ears, okay? Because this is a really good book, so you really want to listen to this. Okay, so it's called What's the Time, Mr. Wolf? Can anybody remember what this page of the book is called? What's this page of the book called? Well done, it's the front cover. Now what can we see on our front cover? What can we see? Yeah, we can see a wolf. And I can see some little fairies, can you? Can you see the little fairies? And there's a birdie as well. I wonder what that means. Okay, What's the Time, Mr. Wolf is called our title. It is the title of our book. Now, what's this name here? What's this name? It says Debbie Gliory. I wonder who that is. Is this Debbie? No, I don't think that's Debbie. Is that Debbie? No, I don't think that is. Is that Debbie? No, of course not. Debbie is our author of the book. She's the lady that wrote the book, okay? And then if we just flip it round, anybody remember what the back of the book is called? Anyone remember what the back's called? It's called our blurb. Very well done. So, I wonder what it's going to be about, okay? And remember, we've just done our lesson on time, so you guys should be experts at What's the Time, Mr. Wolf. Okay, ooh, look at this. Look at all the birdies on the washing line with the socks. Okay. What can we see? What can we see on our book? I can see a clock and a pie. I can see a pie. Okay, it says, it is 7 o'clock in the morning. Can we see that it's 7 o'clock on our clock? We can see that the big hand is pointing to the 12. That means it's o'clock. And our little hand, our hour hand, is pointing to the 7. So it is 7 o'clock. Okay. It is 7 o'clock in the morning. Mr. Wolf is woken up by 24 blackbirds. What's the time, Mr. Wolf? They tweet. It's time for blackbird pie, yawns Mr. Wolf. Ooh. You see Mr. Wolf? Is he in his bed? The birdies have woken him up, haven't they? Okay. It is 8 o'clock in the morning. Can you see it's 8 o'clock on another clock? Remember, the big hand, the minute hand is on the 12, which means o'clock, and our little hand is on the 8. It is 8 o'clock in the morning. All Mr. Wolf's neighbours slam their doors on the way to work. Bang goes the door of the stone house. Crash goes the door of the wooden house. Why are they all slamming their doors? Thud goes the door of the straw house. What's the time, Mr. Wolf? Giggle the 3 little pigs. It's time for bacon sandwiches, mutters Mr. Wolf. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. Oh, look. They've got a digital clock. So it's not like our analog clock, is it? It's a digital clock that says 9:00, which means 9 o'clock. Here comes the post girl in her little red hood. About time too, thinks Mr. Wolf, running to the door. But there is nothing for Mr. Wolf, not so much as a card. Poor Mr. Wolf. Poor Mr. Wolf didn't get anything, did he? It is 10 o'clock in the morning. Ooh, that's a fancy clock. That's a fancy clock, isn't it? It is 10 o'clock in the morning. Mr. Wolf is trimming the hairs on his chinny chin chin when his phone rings. Mr. Wolf hears a snort, then an oink and a giggle. Finally, a voice squeals, "What's the time, Mr. Wolf?" "Not you lot again," groans Mr. Wolf. "It's time you little pigs bought a watch. Goodbye." And he puts the phone down. Why do we think he put the phone down? Why is Mr. Wolf being grumpy? It is 11 o'clock in the morning. Mr. Wolf's tummy gives a loud rumble. Brrr. "What's the time, Mr. Wolf?" he wonders. "Time for a snack." Now, can we see a special clock on this page? Can we see a special clock on this page? I can see it. It's just there. This is called a sun clock. Now, a sun clock works by the sun using a shadow to tell you the time of the day. How fantastic is that? Okay, but when he goes to his cupboard, it is bare. Even his dish has run off with his spoon. Look, there's the dish and the spoon. He's got no snacks. It's 12 o'clock, midday. Remember what I said about being 12 o'clock and midday? So before 12 o'clock midday, it is the AM. But after 12 o'clock midday, it is the PM. So Mr. Wolf is starting his afternoon. Okay, it is 12 o'clock midday. Time to go shopping, thinks Mr. Wolf. I think he needs to go for some snacks, doesn't he? Got no snacks. He is halfway to the shops when it starts to rain. Oh no! Time I bought an umbrella, thinks Mr. Wolf. Look, all the little animals have got their umbrellas, but Mr. Wolf doesn't have one. It is 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Remember, afternoon is our PM. Bong! There's a mouse running up Mr. Wolf's clock. Look at the naughty little mouse. "What's the time, Mr. Wolf?" squeaks the mouse, but Mr. Wolf doesn't answer. Mr. Wolf is out. He's out, isn't he? It is 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Mr. Wolf is in the cake shop. Look at all those cakes. Oh my goodness. Look at all those cakes. Do you think he's going to get one? "What's the hurry, Mr. Wolf?" says the baker man. "I'm baking your cake as fast as I can, patting and prodding and filling with jam, bake for an hour, then remove from the pan." Now, what's special about what Mr. Baker just said? Should I read it again? "I'm baking your cake as fast as I can, patting and prodding and filling with jam. Bake for an hour, then remove from the pan." Yeah, it begins with a R. All the words are rhyming, aren't they? Can, jam and pan. Mr. Bakerman is rhyming. Okay, it is 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Mr. Wolf is tired and very, very hungry. He is heading home when, zoom, whoosh, a crowd rushes past. Why is the crowd rushing past? Where do we think the crowd's rushing? "No time to stop, Mr. Wolf," they gasp. "We're already late." What do you think they're late for? What do you think's going on? What do you think they're late for? Oh, I do wonder. I don't know. What are they going to be late for, do you think? They've all got something in their hands. Look, they've all got like a present. The baker man's got a balloon. What do you think they're going to be late for? It is 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Mr. Wolf takes the shortcut home. It is cool and shady under the trees. "Time for a nap," says Mr. Wolf. He is nearly asleep when, hey diddly-dee, diddly-dee, yoo! Mr. Wolf's eyes spring open. There is a cat playing the fiddle. The cat has woken Mr. Wolf up from his nap. 5 o'clock, time to wake up, Mr. Wolf, the cat says. "Shall I play some more lovely tunes on my fiddle?" Mr. Wolf shudders. "Good grief," he says. "Is that the time? Awfully sorry, Moustache." And he runs away as fast as he can. What do you think he's late for? What do we think he's late for? It's 6 o'clock. Bong goes Mr. Wolf's clock. Bong, 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 bong. Shh, says Mr. Wolf's friends. Mr. Wolf is nearly home. He climbs the step, lifts the latch, opens his door, and what do you think they're doing? What do you think they're doing if they're all going shh and Mr. Wolf is at his door? What do you think they're doing? Look, they've all got cake or drinks, balloons. I think I might know what they're doing. What's the time, Mr. Wolf? It's party time! They threw Mr. Wolf a massive party. A surprise party? Isn't that fabulous? Oh, look. He's got lots of treats and sweets and all of his friends are there, and he's even got a birthday cake. Oh my goodness. And later, much later, all Mr. Wolf's friends have gone home. So the party's finished and all Mr. Wolf's friends have gone home. Mr. Wolf is brushing his teeth. Mr. Wolf is pulling up the quilt. What's the time, Mr. Wolf? Says the stars. But Mr. Wolf doesn't reply because Mr. Wolf is fast asleep. He's fast asleep. Do you think he had a good time at his party? I think he had a wonderful time at his party. It was so nice, wasn't it? They were all planning a big secret party for Mr. Wolf. And they all kept asking him the time, didn't they? And secretly they were throwing him a huge party. And he was so grumpy about it. Poor Mr. Wolf. He had a good party in the end, didn't he? Right, guys, thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed that. I really enjoyed reading that. I might read it again. If you do want to read it again, skip back to the beginning. But thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you all later. Bye.